Okay, so I want to show now that we've started our pre-ferment over here. That's been going since this morning. And so now we're just going to throw all of our ingredients together. I have 2 cups of water here. And I used 1 cup of tap water and 1 cup of bottled water, just because water is precious right now. And to that, I am just going to add my entire pre-ferment. You can see it's kind of stringy and kind of has bubbles in it. And the important thing is that you can see that it actually kind of floats on top of the water. And so that means it's going to give you good bread. It will rise. I can promise you it will rise. So I can let whatever is left in here, I can let that dry and scrape it off later, and that can be a dried sourdough that you can send to somebody, or you can keep it for your own in case you kill your sourdough somehow. Then you still have a backup. So we got the sourdough pre-ferment in here, and I'm just gonna kind of mix that in. And then to that, we're going to add a total of 5 cups of flour and a tablespoon of salt, which is 3 teaspoons. So what I like to do is I usually add 3 cups of flour first, try to mix that in, and then add the salt to that before I add the rest of it. So I'm just going to dump in 3. And I do this very loosely. You don't want to pack it down. I just kind of shake it. You kind of get a feel of later on what the dough is supposed to be like. So this is number 3. So I'm going to add my 1 tablespoon, which is 3 teaspoons of salt to that, and just kind of sprinkle it over it. 1, 2, and 3. This recipe actually says you can have up to 4 teaspoons, 4 1/4, but I prefer to go on the low side, so I use 1 tablespoon. So I'm just going to mix all of that in. And then once I have incorporated that, then I'm going to add the rest of my flour. One and 2. Now it's going to get a little bit harder. And we're not going to knead this. This bread does not require any kneading whatsoever. On this first one, we're just going to incorporate all the flour so there are no dry bits left. And then we'll just let it sit for about 20 minutes. And that's called autolyze. And that just gives the ingredients an opportunity to bind to each other. And then we'll come back. And then we'll start our stretch and fold, and that's, instead of kneading, that's what we're going to be doing. It's called stretch and fold, and I'll show you how to do that later on. So again, this is we just want to incorporate all the flour in here, and then we're just going to let it sit. And this is one sticky mass right now, and it's going to be very interesting to see how the consistency of the dough is actually going to change as we do the stretch and folds, from sticky to pliable and beautiful.